What are your plans for Valentine's Day? Yeah, I'm alone. No shock there, you guys. Mama's gonna need a refill. It's time to fall head over heels in love while getting your funny bone tickled. Welcome to 14 Days of Rom Coms, where we watch some of our favorite romantic comedies in order to get ready for that, dreaded holiday, Valentine's Day. So today I have a special guest in-house. Please welcome Kenneth Witzgall.
Hey!
He's here and he picked out one of his favorite romantic comedies to watch. Ken, what did you pick?
High Fidelity.
And why was that your choice today?
Well, like a lot of nerdy beta males from my generation that came about in the late 90s, early 2000s, that was like that, and all of the Kevin Smith movies were what I and my fellow soft boys attached themselves to.
For the video series, I'm saying that all romantic comedies have some common themes. And the first theme that we're going to talk about is, how does this movie show heartache and heartbreak?
Well, I think as we were talking about, it's pretty much all...
It's the whole movie,
yeah,
like the entire movie.
It's a great movie to watch when you're just broken up with somebody.
Except for, and I argue that this movie teaches people to just get back with their ex. Mm-hmm. So this whole movie is literally first person, like, narrated, and he's talking about how all of these different heartaches that he's experienced has shaped him, basically.
Yeah,
going back through, trudging through all that dirty, like, shitty stuff you've been through.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that seemed really awful at the time for him, and then as he kind of learns and grows a little bit, he doesn't... There's not a whole lot of self-reflection on the previous girlfriends that he addresses, except
he
for...
finds them. He's like, I gotta talk to them, which seems like if this movie was written in a different gender role, like if a woman did that, they'd be like, she's crazy. She's so crazy.
Maybe, or they would just assume that she wants to get back together. She wants to have sex and say.
Yeah, they would be like, hey. And if I called some of my exes, they would not answer. So I don't. I'm not sure how believable it is that they all agree to meet him. I'm like, like we're saying, this is like 75% of this movie is dealing with the heartache and the heartbreak of his current girlfriend Laura walking out on him. Yeah. And then we find out later it's because she's just left him for someone else.
Yeah, I mean,
in a way, but they like skate around it. It's like you don't just go move in with some dude who you're not trying to get with. Like, what? Get a hotel room, you fucking weirdo.
They always glossed over that part, and I think that's another bad writing.
That's why I don't like her, and why I think she's kind of shitty. It's like
because I had never taken it like that. In fact, I didn't even really think about it until this rewatching.
That's some shitty girl shit right there. Like, and I'm allowed to say that.
Well, and I'm glad that we went through this because it was that self-evaluation that it took me to be like, oh yeah, the Laura character is totally underbaked. But it's interesting that you and Miles over there, whose background stuff, both characterized it as this is a movie that's trying to paint Laura as this really awful person. And I've never walked away. I've always seen the movie and whatever my ex-girlfriend was that I was still in love with, she was the stand-in proxy for her. And at the end of the movie, I was like, all right, I'm just going to try to grow to be a better person and appreciate her better.
In the hopes that this chick was just going to come back. Because this movie teaches you that is a realistic thing to believe in.
But to be fair, although he did some kind of weird stalkerish things.
Only a couple or a lot.
That was uncomfortable. But when she came back and they did have a civil back and forth, like when she would come back.
Yeah, because she was playing with him.
I never got
She's
that
like,
at all.
I'm going to be living with this other dude, but like, call me at work. And yeah, I'll come see you. And I left some of my stuff in the apartment, so I have to just keep showing up. Get your shit. Get shit out of my house. Like, he should have said that. And no, it was just always an excuse to like keep him lingering. She says 9% chance that they'll get back together, and then immediately bangs him in a car like right after that. Her dad dies and she bangs him. It was like, I mean, okay, maybe funeral a week or so after someone dies. Like, it was not that
we all
much
deal with
time.
grief differently.
Oh, well, I'm not judging her for that choice. I'm judging her
I'm not
for
going to slut shame somebody just because they want to
keeping
get
him
laid.
dangling on a string. That's rude. That is rude. And I'm just like, whoa.
That's fair. I mean, I guess I never thought about it like that.
Fucking shook over here. He's like, what?
I always felt for her. I always felt like she was totally in the right.
Oh,
And-
man. I mean, maybe at the beginning, like, I see her reasonings for leaving him.
Yeah.
I don't see her reasonings for being like, I'm gonna move in with this other dude and I'm into this other guy, but I'm also just gonna play my card safe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's just shitty. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
When someone's going through heartache, I think we all know we turn to our friends for support. So this movie has a lot of characters that support both main characters in each side of the breakup. And you kind of mentioned them already. There's the geeky record store guys and
Of the, the negative parts of his personality are stoked more by hanging out with these geeky guys who don't really know how to relate to other people, much less women and other relationships, like romantic relationships. So the fact that he's kind of stuck with them is a big reason why I think he's kind of stuck in this perpetual adolescence.
But the point is that he hasn't grown up enough for her, and yet he's being the adult while she's being kind of wishy-washy.
Sure. I mean, I never took it like that. So.
Yeah. It's an interesting take. So that brings us to the point, does this qualify as romance? Because I would say not really. I don't think there was there wasn't like this big build-up. They weren't like super like, we're in love and they're going to float off into the sunset.
Yeah.
At the end of this movie, it was just like, okay, it's working. I'm like, what the? End.
I'll say in that respect, it was much less like a movie and much more like what real life is. When if they hadn't broken up at the beginning of the movie, the situation would basically be him coming to terms with being in a committed relationship. And a big part of that is owning the fact that, you're in it with another human being that has their own faults, and they're not going to have the pretty underwear every time you see them. And part of that is growing up,
he was so pissed off about that. Get the fuck over it, dudes. You want to wear a thong all the damn time? It should be fair.
Yeah. This was never written from, just like you said.
I asked if there were female writers on the staff. I was like,
And so all of this, when they're talking about heartache, it comes out like it's an attack on women. Like, even that really nice point that he make, and what really...
he top fives, that's like his thing.
Yeah.
He's like, top 5 best albums, top 5 songs about death. So for that one, he said top 3 things he missed about her, and then he was like, I could write a million top 5 of the things that annoyed me about her.
Yeah.
Well, with that, thank you so much, Ken, for doing this video series and being a part of it, and
sorry you hated it so much.
putting up controversial rom-coms to be argued and debated on. It was fun. That's always a good time.